Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Friday, June 17th, 2016, and we've been trying to push forward the project a little bit by doing some long streams. Today should be one of those, although I might receive a phone call soon that tells me I have to go, but regardless. Let's get started. Rather than just doing, 2-hour streams 5 times a week, for a time being at least, gonna do longer streams. And while I'm here, I might as well turn on my wiki. Yeah, which appears up there. And we've been working a little bit on a class hierarchy that's a bit more reasonable. Basically, instead of how we had before, was that the pieces were placed in the level, as makes sense, right? And you move them and so forth, right? And all the state would be on the actor themselves. What we ended up doing this time is we're separating that. So we're having the piece actor be something you can place in level and move, and we'll have the functionality for that. But it will communicate with a ustruct that's on it that will have all of its state. And the idea being, if we want to do an AI solver, we want to make a save game, we want to make undo, we want to make a bunch of other these features, rather than having to modify the actors on the table because they're being rendered. It'd be nice to go pull out what state they have. And I could have done it in the old version too, but that would have been a little bit more kludgy, and the project was broken when we moved to 4.12 anyway, so had to do something, right? Anyway, so we ported it over, and yeah, and then we have the ustruct that's inside it. I'm not sure if in the future, like when we go forward, if I will have it be an accessible ustruct, or if I'm going to have it be a hidden ustruct in the editor and so forth. that we can access the actor. So we place the actor in a level. So how it's going to work is we're going to place the actors in a level, and it's going to have the ustruct within it, and as we move the actor around, it's going to change the ustruct, and so forth. But yeah, so the actors will be placed in the level as usual, but their brain, their kind of, you know, accessible part is going to be detachable. And it'll also interface with both the actor and the AI and whatever else needs it through a movement component object. So you can just spawn it without having to be attached to a level in any way. Because one of the problems is if we wanted to, the way we had it now, in the previous version, if we wanted to, yeah, I'm recording. If we wanted to like solve for multiple moves in time, we can't really do that because the stuff are already in a level, right? We would have to clone all of the information off of it, mess around with that, which means we'd have to have another piece of code to solve for that, which then we get in the issue of, well, what if I screw up and make a bug where the AI solver, which I may not be able to inspect because it's probably going to be very buried, produces different results than the movement solver, like what moves the player can do. It wouldn't produce any invalid results because I give it a list of all the possible moves. It would just choose a dumb move, and it would look like, oh, it thought of it, you know, it thought it needed to do something when it didn't or whatever. But it would really be because it is outputting BS. Whatever, right? Maybe putting out bad moves or whatever. We wouldn't know because we have to inspect the AI thought process on the AI thread as it's going, which is a pain if you have, you know, tens of thousands of instructions to then skip through each of them and see which one's the broken one, right? That's a long bug process, right? If we didn't know to look for like crashes or something. If it's crashes, that's easy. You can just see where it crashes, look at the call stack and whatever. But if it's producing wrong results, well, where is it producing wrong results? Is it just, does the math just work out in a way that doesn't seem right? Or is it a fundamental broken issue? So we have all that separated out in a state now, both for tile and the pieces, because we want to be able to pull their states, have them off to the side, and AI can just mess around with them. Maybe multiple different ways, right? And then choose the right one and then go forward, right? So, yeah. And we also started thinking about cards as well, how they play in, but we're not going to do them yet. Even though it'd be kind of cool, but no. Okay. Oh, and we also had another issue as well, where if mesh was set to static, we couldn't change its skeletal mesh, which makes a bit of sense because it would be a protection if you did, for example, static lighting, and the editor, you bake the lighting at runtime, you change the mesh. That wouldn't exactly work. You could fix that by, at runtime, switching it to movable, changing the mesh, and switching it back to static. But I guess that was just a protection for it. Well, we didn't know what the case was. We thought it was just having a problem assigning the mesh to the object. Because, you know, we assigned one pointer of the object to two different spots. Maybe it's only getting linked to the last one, even though you think you'd be able to point two meshes to one point in memory, and you could, but there was bugs, we didn't know what was going on, right? So yeah, that's kind of catching us up to where we are today. As a matter of fact, it kind of works. So we're just going to quickly do another test. We're going to place a level setup helper, and then we're going to generate a 32 by 32, and there we are. And it places them in the level, and they all have all of their meshes, and they have a tile state which has the coordinates, whether it's enabled and dynamic. There'll probably be more state later on. Oh, there's also a. It's not visible in the blueprint, but it's not visible in the header. There's also a string that points to the static mesh, which is just a rounded rectangle prism, but it doesn't know that, right? It just points to a mesh, right? And the idea is, in the state, if we want to have a special tile be round or something, we can just point to a different URL. And when it's attached to the tile will ingest it and change its mesh to whatever the state tells it to. Anyway. This is where the update mesh occurs in. So we set it to movable to change the mesh, but if it's dynamic, we set it to static. So if it's not dynamic, we set it to static again. If it is dynamic, we just leave it movable because it's movable, right? And now let's open up Visual Studio Code to look at our previous Check-It project. And we'll think, so get status, get add a, get commit m, placeable tiles in level. Okay. It's now in piece. Did we still call out possible move? Yeah, we did. We don't have that t num as byte template anymore. We can just use a enumerator directly because it's a enum class. Actually, one thing I should check as well. Whether tenum is byte or tenum class, so u4 enum class. Apparently it's a C++11 thing. Can you do? I mean, the chances of us needing a numerator with more than 256 values is next to nothing, but I was wondering if you can use different values, like a, you know. Okay. Must be uint 8. That's cool. Answers my question. Okay. Okay. There we are. That's what I'm looking for. So now I need to add a couple of functions. Yeah, okay, they'll be in P state. Piece value. Float piece half height. Did I just have it as half height? No, I had piece half height. Hello and welcome to the chat. This is the previous version of the game we're working on. Well, this is the new version, but the previous version is loading in the background. Come on. And don't feel shy about talking to chat. The point of what I'm doing right here is to make a good stream. Because I'm hoping this will end up being the product. I'm hoping that if the stream gets popular enough, I can just release this game for free. But we'll see what the game is in just a second. It's not in my SSD, it's in my external drive. Takes a couple seconds. There we are. So it looks like chess, but it's not quite. Well, it looks like a black screen right now, but loading. So it looks like chess. You can see you can move as such, but you can move the pawns sideways now. So pawns can move forward, back, or left or right, and eat diagonal. All the art pieces have remained unchanged, although there's no advanced moves like castling or anything like that. But the reason for the change is because some maps aren't like a chessboard. This is an 8x8 grid. This one's not an 8x8 grid. This one is much larger. Yep. And there's other pieces up here, like the queens. Hi, welcome to chat. So this is the idea behind this. All these tiles are disabled because they have to be within range of the king. The king's all the way back here. These knights are out of range, so if we try to click on them, nothing happens, but we can click on the king and move it over. And eventually the board opens up. And now we're going to be in range of the knight. But not this one. So this one we can move if we want. Or we can move the king over one more spot, and all of a sudden we got the knight. This game is called Check It. It was supposed to be a 1 versus AI demo. We had some serious issues with the how it's programmed now, and we're working on fixing it with a major refactor. So we're doing it in Unreal Engine 4. This is the another test level we have. It's a much newer version of Unreal Engine. That was 4.9. This is 4.12. And so we're working on that. Okay, so what does piece need again? So it needs piece half height, piece value. So there's also the linear color for the base color and stuff like that. I'm not gonna deal with that just yet. Okay, so you're just looking at game dev to start development on your own game. So the best advice I'm going to give you is it's good to look and whatever. One of the best. Okay, so there's pretty much a second best way to learn, and the first way is not yet. The second best way to learn is to have a project you care about and just do it. So if you have a game you want to work on, do it. If it's not, if it's going to be like an MMO that's going to take, thousands of man hours or person hours, then that's a problem, right? You're not going to be able to get that in, well, actually, when we 1,000 person hours, it would be like thousands of person years. you know, it's not going to be, you're not going to get milestones before you give up, right? But if it's, you know, smaller games, especially, or if it's a bigger game but it has milestones you can work up to, that's going to be just as good motivation as anything else. A lot of people think, oh, I need to learn from a book, I need to learn from this, that, and the other thing. One of the best ways to learn is just to have a project you go for and just do it. And when you run into walls, and you're going to run into walls on a daily basis, figure out what the problems are, and then you'll learn. So I think one of the only better ways that we know to teach is to force people to teach themselves, and that's, you know, that's later on. That's for secondary levels, to like climb the pyramid. I don't remember what it's called. There's a pyramid of, like, you know, familiar, you know, being able to regurgitate knowledge and being able to apply knowledge, you know, and goes up like that. But anyway, yeah. So just make your game, right? The tools are free now. Blender's free. You can get a lot of good photo editing software for free if you don't already have a license of Photoshop or whatever. You can get Paint.net, or you can get GIMP, or you can get whatever else. CryEngine's free, Unreal Engine's free, Unity's free. There's a bunch of engines for that. Just do it. And if it's not too big, you can just have it be done. No one's stopping you, right? Yeah, it's just a concept for now, and that's fine. You can just sit on the concept as well, but a lot of people tend to like hold on to it, like, I need to learn more. You don't need to. There is no person in the front of the door saying, like, you must know this much knowledge before you can enter. No, there's no door. You can just do it, right? No one's gonna tell you not. I mean, if you know, present something on a forum and it's not really all that good, people are going to, you know, make fun of you, unfortunately, which is terrible, but, you know. But what does that even do, right? Like, they're not going to stop you from doing it, just do it. Right? And you'll eventually make something great, and it'll be good, right? Assuming you have enough free time for that, of course. Because, I mean, like, I keep saying, like, you know, it's there's no one stopping you or whatever. It may not be for everyone. It's a very challenging and very tedious and a very involved process, but at the same token, so I mean, you don't have to always do it. Like, you don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, even a slightest inclination, just do it, right? Oh, it's a base builder idea. Cool. That sounds fun. And one second, I gotta blow my nose. Hello. Okay, so, right. So base color, you know what, I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's have a, just have a U property. The reason why I was not going to do this was because I wasn't sure what materials I would end up using for the pieces, so I made it solid color originally just for ease. And these ones I need to copy. Oh no. Oh no, it's good. Okay. Thought I was in the wrong class, but that's why I wanted to edit. Actually, I don't need to do that. Yeah, I actually don't need this here. This will be on the piece. And the idea behind this is it's the color the piece is going to turn. I don't need to store that here because all I need to store is the type of mesh it uses and the spawn number. And I can derive the color from that because it'd be based on the team. And the team is, whatever. But I want it to be stored in the actor because it needs to be stored after a function call, right? I can't just, disappear it. I don't want to derive the number every time. But this is here, so okay. And now here, let's copy back in the movement code here, which actually worked quite well. So I'm gonna use it pretty much without modification. It's not going to, it's not gonna work directly, of course, because, yeah. There's gonna be some broken aspects to it. Yeah, okay. Okay, so tile location dot z equals piece half height. That's now on p state. Location. So it's not level manager anymore. It's level step helper. And now I need to add level step helper, I believe. Yep. Should just call it level manager and save the issue, but well, yeah, also include tile. And then include check it types. And actually, I should have this be just below check it helper. Oh, I don't need that because it's in the header already. I included it up there, right? Because I needed it both here and both there, so. I needed a header file too, so I included just the header file. Hi, welcome to the chat. Again, ask any questions you like. Within reason, of course. Not within reason in terms of volume, it's fine. Yeah. More the merrier. Within reason is like, nothing R-rated or anything. Okay, so, piece. Why is the sky blue? Can't remember if it's Raleigh or my scattering. I think it's my scattering. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. So, oh, it's my scattering. M-I-E. Sorry. Yeah, red sunset, blue is further away. Caused by Raleigh scattering. Sorry, whoops, Raleigh scattering. the gray-white is the my scattering. I was wrong. I did laser optics back in 2009, so it was a while ago. Okay. So tile is enabled. Yep. Get coordinate. What platform could you suggest for such a game? What do you mean such a game? The base building game? It's not quite clear what you mean by that. It sounds like you're talking about like maybe like Lego Universe, maybe like real-time strategy. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on it? And set team. Void set team. Yeah, strategic base lab builder where players build their base and react with the Serenitines. Are you talking about 3D or 2D? Probably 3D, right? And it's probably pretty simple models, kind of like, you know, low poly house, like maybe like 20 polygon house or whatever. We're talking about stuff like that. What do you have? So one of the dirty little secrets is that a lot of video games engines are very similar these days. Performance is pretty high in the PC, especially even mobile these days, such that it's easier to be wasteful than it is to be efficient, right? And it's still acceptable to be wasteful. I mean, you're gonna see, you're gonna see a game, like if a game can hit 60 frames per second all the time or whatever your refresh rate is, it's gonna feel better than one that has stutters and jutters and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's also not very. If you can, you know, have a one-person team get away with a couple janks here and there and make a great game, then just do that, right? So it depends on what you want. If you're talking about, like, for example, a 2D game, there's a bunch of options. You can do it in JavaScript for the web now. Canvas and WebGL are really good. Even 3D would work on that too, but then you have to build your own engine. Yeah, right. But if you're looking for an actual engine, a lot of people seem to like picking up Unity because C# is a bit more approachable than C++. Looking for 3D but 2D to start. Okay, so if you're going to transition to 3D, it's probably better to start in 3D. Just start with really, really bad 3D. So instead of having, you know, elaborate 3D model, have like a box, right? Like literally cube, literally cylinder, literally cone, right? Just to make it kind of go quick like that, right? Then going to 2D and then trying to transition everything to 3D. Because if you end up having some physics and stuff like that, then you'll have to reprogram it when you go to 3D. Whereas if you have a basis for like really dumb 3D, like cube, then you can just extend upon that, replace the assets, and you're good, right? Excuse me. So, like, do you have any programming experience at all? I know you say you started in game, looking at start game dev. You don't know much, but what do you know? Actually, while I'm waiting for the answer, I'm gonna quickly check for coding style. Epic likes using const now, and that's something I want to do as well because it prevents a lot of bugs. Not quite, but kind of. The thing about constants is actually very difficult to pick up, but once you get it, it's gonna be better. So, you know, again, okay. So they mentioned a piece of software. I'm gonna look it up. Okay. So you're looking to make games possibly like this? Here? Very interesting art style. There was one I actually saw a little while ago. I'm not quite sure, but I never used it. But it was, what was it called again? Well, they say better graphics. It's actually pretty good graphics. It's not high polygon, high detail, but it's got an art style to it, right? What was it called? They must have had an E3 announcement just earlier because it was everywhere for a couple of days and then it disappeared. I'm right now Googling some stuff, which I'm keeping off of stream, Because the last time I Googled for something, it was something very innocuous too, and ended up having like a naked person on the Google image search. I'm like, come on. So I had to cut it out of the stream, but I mean, it wasn't like untasteful or anything. It was I think it was based off of like a medical thing or whatever, but still, it's not something I want to have in the stream. So I'm trying to find out what that was. It was everywhere on Twitter for a couple days now. Oh, maybe this is it. I'm not sure what this allows, but I think it's called Magic Voxel. I'm not sure if it's part of an engine or something, but people kept talking about it. Oh, it's just a voxel editor. Alright. Kind of a interesting. Gotta be careful with ads, though, on these paces, but yeah. Yeah. I thought it was an actual engine. People were describing it. I guess that's not gonna help you then. Okay. Yeah, so for an editor, you're gonna have to make the editor then, possibly. Probably Unity would be a good spot for that, just so you can focus on C# without having to learn C++ at the same time, even though it's not that fine. It's not that bad. I'm not sure though. So yeah, I don't know about that one. Wish I could give a better answer, but I don't know. So set team. Oh right, I was looking here for the const. Where was it? Oh, it's here. Const is really difficult to get your head around, unfortunately, but you know, it also helps a lot of issues where if you have a, well, yeah, it prevents you from changing things that should not change. Alright, so, yep. Let's have, const, int32, team. Or spawn number. Is that right? Oh, team number, sorry. and then then it should be constants too. And then here, so what's the okay. So since we're just getting, we're gonna do const. And then const. Because we're just accessing it, we're not actually dealing with it. We had an interesting bug last time where IntelliSense didn't know what it was doing, and it ended up adding an include file to itself. We had to actually disable the yeah, we actually had to delete the not the project, we had to delete the solution file for Visual Studio and regenerate it. It was spewing red underlines under everything, even if it was correct, because it couldn't include the files. So all the include files that were in, for example, C++ file, like tile here, level setup helper here, it wouldn't know what to do with it. Okay, so for this, we're gonna want to actually, we could probably do piece states. That's one number. That should work. Okay, so that should build. Okay. You're not hot reloading. You're not running anymore. Maybe I said it already. Oh well. The main part was this. So we then want to create. Actually, you need the editor open. We then want to create subclasses for each possible piece, because even though we're going to have all the state be part of piece state, we're going to have the individual pieces we want to place in the level be placeable. Jeez, I have the hiccups. Or kind of burp hiccup. Anyway, whatever. That's gross. Don't bother with that. I want to have each of the possible pieces be placeable in the level. So instead of setting all the state of, finding what the content browser is and blah, 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 we just drag the piece into the level and it's done, right? So that will be that. So we need to then add C++ class, show all classes, we want piece. And we're going to have the 6 chess pieces. So we're going to have, I'll do piece pawn. I guess I did it before. Yeah. So that way they're all kind of bunched together in the solution browser. Okay, now let's add the C++ class. Piece, rook. Then we need to do a knight. Then the bishop. So it's just simplicity for the editor. As a matter of fact, what I might end up doing is on begin play, going through a level and deleting all of these and just replacing them with base pieces. Such that, and then taking the state that the level has and dumping it back in, which would turn it to whatever piece it should be. And that way we won't end up having piece knight be placed in the level and having its brain replaced with a queen and it looks like a queen, even though it's listed piece knight in the level, whatever. It'll make it a bit easier in case we end up having some stuff like that. And that way we don't have to despawn the pieces. It's similar to how Unity does it, actually, when they have their base. Oh, that might be what I need to do, so 1 second. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Turns out I have to pick up someone in about an hour, so I have about an hour of work, a little over. And after that, I probably will start another stream after I get back, but we'll see. Because again, I want to get this done as quick as possible because, you know, having to redo stuff is not very good. very good television, right? Well, you know, an hour of work minus any breaks I have to take. No, back. Piece. I want base off piece. And instead of bishop, I want now queen. Or piece queen. And again, we're designing it to be very, very open, such that all of the possible functionality is in the state, and whatever piece we create, we'll just modify a state accordingly based on, you know, whatever its movement mechanics are, whatever its whatever its control mechanics are, whatever mesh it has, stuff like that. So it's designed very, very open, so we can then extend it further with whatever piece we want. I don't have any plans to go past the 6 standard chess pieces, but I don't even have any plans not to either, so, you know. Let's see. And then we'll add the queen. Or king, sorry. One second. Sorry about that. Allergy season is really bad this year, like really bad. Did I say really bad? I mean really bad. Come on. So we have the P state here, so now we just need to have the constructor for each of these modify the P state accordingly. So let's actually look at the tile here. Oh, it wasn't tile, it was level setup helper. So in here, piece king. I need to create the constructor by default, right? It's weird how sometimes when they... Yeah. Oh, that reminds me as well. We found out a little while ago that what was it? Oh yeah, it should be a generated body for ustructs now. Apparently that throws an error in or a warning in 4.11. I should look at the output log. This is what people said. Yeah, it should be generated body now. Using generated ustruct body will result in UHT error stating generated body is expected. Which is weird because I haven't had that yet. But yeah. I'm not sure if I accidentally pasted some wrong code, but may error out. Yeah, error out. Yeah, okay. Oh, duh. Oh, that's all I need? Okay. Like I say, the constructor's always called anyway, so that's fine. So I just need to then paste that in there, but it'll be FP states. Because I need to include check-it types because it would automatically include that. So coordinate, spawn number, possible moves, control range. Let's actually have this be a second column again because it's... I know I want to have more room to have more pieces visible there, but... I'm thinking that probably, probably real developers have don't have as many tabs open as I do, but yeah. So this, we're gonna not have that be like that. And for this, we're gonna have in the content browser meshes piece king, copy reference. And then current state dot piece value. Let's do piece half out actually. What was piece half out? 105.0 or 105.f, which is 105.0, but still. But single precision. Piece value is mostly useful for AI. Current state dot piece control range or control range equals 8, and then ingest state current state. let's do current state dot spawn number equals 1. And alive, we'll just have it be whatever it needs to be. Yeah, let's have it be true, sure, why not? And that should be it. Okay. Piece queen. Piece queen. Piece queen. Piece queen. And I believe the half height same. Piece value is slightly lower. Control range is -1 because we don't want to control anything. Spawn number is just whatever. Alive is just whatever. Oh, we also needed to build a move. Build some moves as well. Okay, we're gonna do the build moves after. Bishop. Sounds a lot like a Genesis song. For some reason. Like kinda not necessarily Genesis, but that kinda era. So again, we're trying to make the amount of code required to create a new piece as minimal as possible. And again, this will not compile because I haven't added these functions to the header yet. So this is 90 and 300 still. And if it turns out I need more data to figure out what a piece can do for a future piece, then I'll have to change that. That could make some save games incompatible or whatever because the data would be misaligned. But not much you can do about that. When I say data be misaligned, I mean since we're saving ustructs, it's kind of all packed, so it's like your 3 32-bit numbers, your a boolean, which would probably be 32 or 64-bit, you're a 32-bit number, you're a pointer to a 64-bit address space, you're a, so you see in the memory, it's like, 96 bits, then you have 32 bits, then you have 32 bits, and 96 and probably 64 bits and 32 bits, then 64 bits for the pointer, then 32 bits, then 32 bits, and 32 bits, then a 64-bit pointer. That all sums up and will be like in contiguous memory. So like, if we're to store several of the structures, structure 1 will be this, however many, like 200 bits, or 300 or 400 bits chunk of memory. Actually, no, it'd be more than that. It would be probably about 400 bits of memory, and then next 400 bits, next 400 bits, next 400 bits. So if I add another piece of data in it, it would be misaligned. So I'd be looking at like a 500-bit view and a 400-bit data. So it would be kind of bleeding over to the next one, and it just wouldn't work. But hopefully that means before I ship and people start making save games and stuff like that, either I take care of it in save game and be like, okay, if something happens, adjust for it, or so like for if I have to update with that, I'd be able to say legacy 1 convert to this new data structure in and out, like import all the structures, add padding for the values you don't use, and then resave out. That'd work too. Geez, allergies are bad this year. Yeah, me. So what's next? So king, queen, bishop, rook, knight, and pawn. Should actually replace the assets soon. Like, you see, I actually like how this is being laid out a bit better than that. Thought I heard someone open the back door, but it could have been the music, which is weird because I'm the only one here right now. You know what? Let's have it be like this. Close check it as well. So we'll just open like this. Actually, like an ass works quite a bit better. So, bishop, knight, sorry, king, knight, pawn, queen, rook, and then tile looks like that. So they all look good. So now in here, we need to add Was it actually opening up? Knight, pawn, queen, rook, bishop, king, knight, pawn, queen, and rook. So that should compile no problem. So let's close her down. And linked. Okay. Okay. Now we need to then create a build moves. Did I include that in the base piece there? Or was build moves just on the individuals? I think it's on the individuals. Yeah, it was. Okay, so then here. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, it's there. Okay. Like, I thought I wanted to put in the header file. It wasn't the header file. That's good. So I accidentally pasted that into the constructor or something of the. Okay, now I need to. In here. Just copy and paste because it was good, so why change anything, right? This is something I got right, so why rewrite the code when you can just copy and paste, right? Interesting song. I'm just gonna skip it at this point. It's almost over, but yeah. I guess it added a bunch of those. Okay, so, right. Add piece, or start adding piece state building. So if you're looking over here, our previous one had allowed moves and is within control and stuff like that. And that's all stuff that the actor really doesn't need to know about, right? That's all in the state. And, well, that's all derived from the state, and it has nothing to do with being placed in the level. So I'm going to have that moved over to a movement controller. Movement component, I should say. Okay, just want to make sure I'm not too late, but I still have almost an hour, so. Yeah. I'm not gonna bother making that yet. I'm going to so ingest state. So in here in the ingest state, here p state is input, and then we need to like we do in tile, update the mesh. Yeah, let's do update mesh. Which means we need to, in piece.h, add an update mesh function. Whoops. Ah. Oh. Well, actually, let's just start adding cons here too. Const, okay. Did you say squirrel? I said swirl or squirrel. Squirrel would be hilarious, but I'm not sure, so I'm gonna reserve laughing for a little bit. I'll defer laughing. So now over here we need to then make. And again, this is just to be a bit overzealous. Shouldn't be the case. And then that's fine. And we need that because it's always going to be movable because pieces have to be able to move. And then we got update mesh. So let's see what your problem is with having const there. Oh, I didn't have piece mesh. Oh, whoops. Use static mesh component. Piece mesh. And then I also need to have the capsule component as well. Again, I'm gonna pull my nose, 1 second. Okie dokie. Yeah, because my shot there. And again, this was set by the constructors we placed. Oh, did I forget to... Oh, whoops, there we are. Yeah, this we just want to point to it. We don't want to store an entire static mesh object in our class. We just want to be like, check over there. Impossible moves is on piece state, right? Yeah. Okay, so we have that ingest state. Then we will have another function. Yeah, so before ingest state, we should do current state dot possible moves equals build moves. So what we're doing here is we're building a hypothetical state, and then we're just injecting it into into the object. Okay, so they can't be U properties, but we can still pass them by reference. So if we want to, for example, send a quick reference to a piece of data stored as a U property in another class for use in a function and then terminate it after that, we can do that. Okay. I was wondering what the confusion of that was, but yeah. So like we can't store a reference for this. We have to actually do a copy if we're going to store it as a on our class as an object. But if we want to then take that reference out and modify it in like fmath or something, we can just pass it the reference and that would work. Okay. Will I remember that? We'll see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. Okay. Right. So now what do we need? So again, it's within control, allowed moves and all that stuff. That's going to be applied to a movement component, which will be a U object, so I can move it wherever I want. I don't have to have it attached to the actor. As a matter of fact, it probably won't ever be attached to the actor. The actor is going to be a representation in the world. It might be attached to the game state, where I'd be like, here's a copied state from the, or a copied or a reference state from the piece in the level. What's up with it, right? And so forth, right? So probably what I'm going to end up having is in the game state. I know I said this differently. I was thinking of this last night, actually. I was in bed. The game state's going to have a list of F-tile state, FP state, and F-card state. I don't think so, actually. A tile, a piece, a card, and then And the reason for that is so that we only have one place for it. It will be on the actors. This means we'll have to have some way of dealing with pieces that die, but we still want to access for some reason. I don't know, maybe temporary captures or respawns or whatever. We'll see about that. Like, maybe you want to have the bishop special move be able to resurrect or whatever, some pieces. But instead of having a list of states in an array, actually I do a list of states in an array on game state, and then having another, like, all the tiles all the pieces and all the tiles and all the cards in the world have their own state, which is supposed to be linked with that. That's asking for bugs. I mean, I say that, and yet the amount of code required to synchronize those probably wouldn't be too much as long as I develop it safely and I force stuff to go through that code. But if I start going around it, it's going to be tempting to go around it in one way but not link it in the other, right? Oh, God. Excuse me. Sorry about that once again. Now, like the animation code here, this is stuff that I actually do want to keep on the actor, because if the actor is what's going to be moving in the world, right? So, and I want the actors to have the authority, as I said earlier, I want the actors to have the authoritative U-struct for each state, right? So the state the actor that's associated with state is going to be the source of the state. So if I want to pull it from anything, I'll pull it from that actor, be it a tile, be it a piece or whatever, right? So now when we have it like this, we should be able to place the objects in the level. We'll see, but we should be able to place the objects in the level, and they should have the appropriate piece, the appropriate mesh attached to them, and they should snap to the tiles that we need to go to. They won't have materials yet because I haven't added that yet, but that's a minor thing. That's just, you know, going to material editor. But you have to do it from within the engine, so, you know. Gonna open up Twitter, see if anyone has retweeted or anything. Nope. Okie dokie. I click run, not just build, right? I guess not. Okay. Now again, this should run a lot faster than the other version because this is actually on an SSD. Is it broken in the background? starting to wonder if there's a an old version of Unreal Engine running in the background that's just not clearing. I'm not seeing anything. So let's kill that process. And then let's kill Visual Studio process. And let's try this again. Are you gonna run this time? There we are. Well, actually, you did it last time before, which didn't launch. Is it crashing on launch? So let's see if it triggers a breakpoint. It's possible one of the constructors I have is failing. Or it could also be, yeah, there we are. Okay. Null pointer. I didn't finish. I didn't add the proper components on the constructor. Materials, it's a particle system, I don't care about any of that. Oh, I need object initializer. And I'm assuming this means I'm gonna have to change all the constructors on the other ones as well, because the children won't have a const object initializer constructor, but yeah. Oh. Yeah. I have other issues too, apparently, particularly with attached components. And then this is rules keep relative transform. I believe that's correct. But now I need to, in each of these, change the constructor to be f-object initializer. Did I accidentally do it in generated body? Okay. I'll make sure I put it in the constructor, not in the generated body macro. I don't quite understand its rationale for opening versus peaking. Okay. Oh, duh. Forgot about that. Forgot what I needed to do. Okay. Okay. Okay, now if we then make a new test level, which will again not save because we just don't have much. Oh cool, it actually has the correct meshes for these now. Huh. So there we are. We'll generate. And now we generated, we should be able to place Okay, so it's updating the coordinates correctly. It's just a bit messed up in how it's seeing this, so a bit messed up in how it's aligning pieces. Oh, because I haven't added that yet. Yeah, forgot about that. Yeah. So in ingest state for update mesh, I also then need to piece mesh set relative location f vector 0.f 0.f negative piece half height. But it's not just any piece half height, it's a piece state dot. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Base component set capsule size 35.f piece half height. True. There we are. And this is why we make test maps, because we don't know if we're going to break it. Oh crap, I know it won't work. Now I can have accessors to be like a get half height instead of doing p state dot, but you know. New level, default, move. And there we go. And now when we place a bishop in the level, it snaps correctly to it. That's interesting. Capsule's not aligned correctly. Oh, there. Once again, this is why we make mistakes, or this is why we make test levels, because we're gonna make mistakes. Maybe it was just not finished reloading? Yeah, okay. I guess it was still partially running when I tried to do the reload, so I tried to do a hot reload for something I was closing down. Hopefully that didn't break my project again. How annoying. It was similar to this that I had a issue where hot reloads would just stop working. Trying to force it to crash, but it's going to. See if the error's gone now. Nope. This is the issue I had. I thought it was a broken project, but maybe it was a known issue. Oh, it worked. Okay. It was successful. You know what? Let's we should report the bug. So here, let's create a new notepad. So apparently we do have an issue. See here, so anyway. Regardless. So now it works, so we can go into Git here. I know I could do commit AM, but you know. I like being verbose for some reason. Um, okay. So next we will have materials. Actually, we should probably look in Answer Hub as well. And it'll be GUID referenced by. And do hot reload. So what did I do on here? Okay, so what I'm doing is working on a game that's like chess. I'm just filing a bug right now. This is a game that obviously looks like chess, but it's not quite chess. So you play, but this one has a bit more moves. So basically, there is no forward direction. You think it might be a very small change, but the reason why I do it is because not every level, and there is multiple levels, may have an 8x8 grid of, maybe have corridors. So if I had a pawn, I would want to move it through there, so I'd have to move it laterally, right? And everything must stay within range of the king. So basically, it's a strategy game where the king itself is your control. So if I move one more aside here, you'll see that this knight is in range, so I can select it, but I can't select this one. And if I'm the queen, I can select it up to the water, up to the control range, or up to the control range, or up to this control range. And over here is where the AI spawns, and it's dumb because I'm a bad programmer, honestly. So it's, having some issues, but while you're trying to get the knights, it can either get its knights or it can go up into the level and try to get a good position on you. There are some issues with that, so it was buggy, so we're working on a new version now. And we can then place pieces in the level like so. Yep. And so forth. So, yeah, that's it. But I'm gonna be, I have to pick up someone in about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna be filing this bug and then shutting down the stream for a bit. I'll probably start again later on tonight, but yeah. Yeah, so fun and challenging game to play. The interesting thing about chess is that one of the reasons why it's so challenging and why some people get so good at it is that there is only so many moves you can make in a 8x8 grid where all tiles are valid. So this ends up being a bunch of metagames that people start playing, but the way Check-It runs, which is what I'm calling the game, is that since every move is, every level is different and they have different corridors, it should flatten the learning curve down a little bit, so it should actually be easier to play in chess, in the sense that your opponents can't be as good at Check-It as chess on every level. They may be good at one level, but then you change a level and they have to learn new strategies. There's some overarching strategies, but you have to know some more. So it should be less challenging to play. It should be more casual. How much so, I don't know. I'm not really a great chess player or anything like that. I just had a really interesting idea in a dream one day, or in a dream as I was laying in bed one day. So decided to do it for a game jam, and here we are, like 2 years later. Nope, definitely don't want that. Or I need to log in. Jerry played not the best at chess, never played, but it would be fun. Oh, cool. So how are we going to diversify your gameplay once it's done? Okay, so one of the main things about making this game is I'm actually hoping that the stream will get popular enough, and the YouTube video will get popular enough that either through Patreon, through YouTube ads, through whatever, it can bring in enough value, revenue, whatever, to cover the development of the game, such that I could just release the game for free and no one would care. If that's the case, maybe I can even open it. Well, I can't open source the engine because that's at Epic's, but my parts of the project, my project part files, I might even be able to open source that and have people play it as an open source game. I don't know. I'm hoping to have something along those lines, have community mods, community development, and stuff like that to make a better open game, but I need to, I need to make a living of some sort, so if it's mostly if this ends up being popular. So we'll see on that. So, but yeah, so it may end up being a game where I slowly release it on milestones if I get enough, stream viewers. So yeah. And now I gotta sign in, which is stupid because oh, I didn't actually do an answer. I was yeah. Because I don't want to post the answer. It's not an answer. I want it to be. And then notepad, a new notepad. And again, I need to pick up someone in about 4 minutes, so. I already have LastPass open. What am I talking about? Epic. Copy password. Copy username. Sign in. Don't remember me. Add a new comment. There we are. Now I can copy and paste that back. Nope, not you. And they could pick out a few viewers, like a giveaway, and then give their opinion on the games, give you ideas, and see how it goes from there. If I would actually give the first off, I just posted the comment after all, so I got shut down now. But if I would actually to give away stuff, I probably wouldn't do it to specific viewers unless it ended up being a Patreon thing or something like that. I would be more inclined to just give it away to anyone who wants it, right? Because especially if it ends up being a stream thing, I'd want as many people viewing the stream as possible, so if I can have it go to as many people as possible, that's all the more people who have a small probability of watching the stream. So it could, if I were to give it away and there wasn't any publisher obligations or Patreon obligations or whatever, I would just give it away to everyone. So there's that, but I really need to go because I have to pick up someone, so I'll be back in a little bit probably. I'm not gonna guarantee I'm gonna stream because I don't know what's gonna happen afterwards, but I intend to continue streaming. 2 hours today is a little bit low for what I intended, so thanks for watching, and I'll probably be back later on tonight.